the pineapple farm. Oh, hi, Mr. Farmer. We need some pineapples.
Hello, Cookie Monster and Ganga. Welcome to the pineapple farm.
Oh, are these spiky things pineapple plants?
Yes, there are, and I can tell you everything you need to know about them. Pineapples are a tropical fruit. That means they grow in places where it's warm. Pineapples grow on top of a plant. It has these short, white stalks and long, spiky leaves. The workers who pick pineapples wear thick gloves and special glasses to keep from getting scratched by the spiky leaves. They also have hard, prickly skin on the outside, but inside they are sweet and delicious. You can eat pineapple plain or add it to your favorite food. I hope this helps. Good luck.
Yeah, pointy pokey. Oh.
Perhaps I could cut this up before you go.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you, Mr. Farmer. We got pineapple.
Did Cookie Monster go on a diet?
You know, Mr. Ramesh Ramsumer keeps boasting to us that the best pineapples in the country come from Tableland and from South Trinidad. I didn't believe him until Cookie Monster said
Stamp
that,
of approval.
yeah, the stamp of approval. So congratulations on being on Sesame Street. You lived my dream. So, but it's a thriving sector of agriculture in South Trinidad, Mr. Ramsumer. How have you guys managed to weather all of these storms, including flooding, to keep this sector of agriculture so vibrant?
Well, I want to thank the resilient farming families of Tableland who took those abandoned cocoa and coffee estates and transformed it into a pineapple industry. Okay, that has reached out to the world. 10 years ago, the Tableland Pineapple Farmers Association held a national food festival for several years. Today, you cannot get a pomsite or a zabuka or a mango free. You have to purchase it. In fact, that strategy has gone so far that pineapple today is in so much demand because of that strategy. Maybe the Sesame Street too. And how you turned, you could have seen the Tableland hybrid. All right, so I want to commend those farmers. It's an initiative that voluntary was done. We had our Eat Local segments over the years, and the Passad family with their supermarket has transcended by using and incorporating farmers in Princestown and other areas also. All right, and it's really a phenomenal task that was done voluntarily, because these farmers produce pineapples with all the infrastructural challenges that need to be synchronized by the state. And I mean, you know, over the years, governments come, governments go, but you look at the input in agriculture, and it has always been a challenge. I commend this team here, and Princestown has a food solution recipe for Trinidad and Tobago, but they need to come to Tableland and learn from these families. Imagine one farmer, one farming family can produce 200 to 300 acres of fruits that would take 2 years to produce. That is a phenomenal. So I commend them.
Tell us that solution that broader Trinidad and Tobago should be looking into.
Actually, it's the recipe that we did 50 years ago. We used our ancestors. They produced cocoa and coffee. Okay? And the recipe is that we have the generation now. I am the descendants of the Ramsumer and the Ramdials. We are all families. And we have transformed that abandoned cocoa estate. It wasn't done in any part of Trinidad and Tobago. But we created, let us say, over 1,000 acres of pineapple production without relevant infrastructure. We are now seeing some leases, some roads and some ponds, but it's not synchronized, as my colleague, Mr. Eric, mentioned a while ago, Predial Larceny. All right? The Predial Larceny squad is not as cooperative. What I'm saying, the funding to these squads, and I know the security services, they cannot go and arrest somebody for a pineapple or a banana, as the case may be. The Predial Larceny has to do it, but they have been stuck. They have been, the resources. All right, and flooding, you mentioned about flooding a while ago. Southeast is, you know, we have the Ottawa River, which is one of the longest rivers in Trinidad that starts in Princestown and ends up in Ottawa. And there's a lot of farming and other rivers that farming takes place on these banks for a lot of reasons, but there are a lot of flooding problems. But agriculture has been a back burner for several years. I'm not blaming anybody in particular, but the solution lies in a strategic synchronizing of all the agricultural inputs. And we're not talking about handouts.
Mr. Armstrong, you mentioned how family involved the business of agriculture can often be. Outside of families who want to keep that business going within their own generational passing it on one to the next, do you find that there's a labor issue as well? And Mr. Lewis, I know that you in cocoa may have a similar issue, so both of you can take this. Do you have the participation from young people who are eager to get in? Has migrant labor become something that you find the easiest option to go to?
Yes, well, on our estate, my family, we farm over 300 acres. 200 acres would be cocoa, and the others would be plantains, pawpaw, pumpkin, citrus, watermelons, and so on. And definitely, migrant labor has been a solution for us. We haven't been able to find a lot of young people interested in doing agriculture with us. And our family, we also opened our estate to the youth apprenticeship farming program 1 year, and a few young people were interested, but after the program ended, they did not continue to follow through with it. And, you know, in Moruga, we have thousands of acres of agricultural lands, thousands of acres, right? One family alone owns like 2,000 acres of agricultural land, and the labor being subsidized by the Venezuelan immigrants, which are now being registered and so on, has really been a solution for us. So we have employed about 12 Venezuelans, and we also have Trinidadians working. However, it doesn't, the Trinidadians aren't affected because they weren't interested in those types of jobs in the first place. And the skills that the Venezuelans bring in the agricultural area, it's phenomenal. And even their work ethic, their attitude, they are early, they are on time, they are courteous. That's really good as well. And, you know, when you look at the historical aspect of it, you know, especially in the records that we have at the National Cocoa and Chocolate Museum in Moruga, you see where those very Venezuelan Spanish names are recorded in the books from the early 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right up. You know, and that has been a solution 100 years ago. And definitely it has been a solution today, especially in the area of agriculture. Cocoa, pineapple, we also grow pineapples as well, and the peppers, which, you know, has its sting to itself.
Chairman, I'm just curious in terms of what you see at the corporation, the support for the agricultural sector. Radio larceny, I know, is a challenge, access roads as well. How has the corporation been able to help the sector maintain its viability?
Well, through the access road, what we do at the corporation, we try to work with the farmers in self-help projects, and we was able to achieve a lot by doing that, where the farmers purchase their materials, the corporation come in with their equipment and labor to assist, and because of that we was able to help a lot of the farmers within the region.
Mr. Ramsimir, we were talking about being business friendly a little bit earlier. With Mr. Prasad and the chairman. Is Princestown agriculture friendly? Does it encourage people and young people to continue in agriculture?
Very good question. And agriculture itself over the years has been a major challenge. All right. But we can produce enough food for us in Trinidad and Tobago like we did 50 years ago. We have the technology. And the young people are technology savvy. But much is not being done. There need to be that cohesion again with respect to the state showing by investing not $1 billion in agriculture, of which 80% is administration. The chairman recently 400 roads, $40 million. Yes, you would.
4 million.
Yeah. $4 million, okay? At the end of the day, you try to reach out to farmers to fix a road. You know, it just can't happen. And I commend them for their efforts. But agriculture needs to be real. And you need to compare, Mr. Vernon mentioned, the importation of fruits and vegetables to Trinidad and Tobago. And our farmers And our communities around Trinidad and Tobago, if we encourage the backyard gardening and really get the agencies, the NAMDEVCOs, the ADBs, to really go there, the cocoa development, synchronize, not in isolation. You need that synchronization in 2020 to make it happen.
Infrastructure might be a problem, manpower might be a problem. Another problem that farmers also face, and not just in Princess Donphan, but across Trinidad and Tobago, is flooding. We'll be talking about that when we return. You're watching Community Talks. We're talking Princess Don this week. Stick around.